Overcrowded and overburdened. Dozens of county jails across the state say they are above capacity in part due to the drug epidemic.
Sheriffs are scrambling for answers, but the inmates keep coming in. So 24-Hour News 8's Tim McNicholas spent an evening in the Madison County Jail to find out what's really going on.
The sheriff says the Madison County Jail has been over capacity every day since 2015, and you'll see just how crowded it is in our video. He says the jam-packed jail is causing safety concerns for the staff and the inmates. More than 80% of the inmates committed some kind of drug-related crime.
Locked down for security check.
You're looking at a jail built with 207 beds. But on this early October night, 300 inmates are locked up here. 2 guards are looking after nearly half of those inmates on the 3rd floor.
A bit stressful.
Jail officer Hector Archoa says there are days when he's the only guard on a floor.
When you got a guy doing something over here, you got your back turned to this side, so you really don't know what's going on.
The staff had already separated 2 inmates because of a fight before we arrived. Security video shows another fight earlier this year when one inmate shoved another off a balcony.
And so basically every tag here represents an inmate.
Correct.
Sheriff Scott Mellinger says the more packed the jail, the rowdier the inmates.
It would be great if people would just straighten up and not commit the crimes they do. But the most frustrating thing to me is that the general public and some elected officials are not taking this seriously enough.
Madison County is one of about 40 overcapacity jails in Indiana. Johnson County averages 360 inmates in a jail built for 322. Vanderburgh County reported an August average of 715 in a jail for 550.
Food, clothing, bedding, utilities. Everything costs more. Transportation.
So the question is, why are county jails so overcrowded? Mellinger says one reason is because more than 40 of his inmates can't afford a $500 bond. But that's not the biggest factor.
I would say the most prevalent issue is drug abuse.
What were you addicted to?
Methamphetamine.
20-year-old Sean Arnold spent 7 months in the jail last year. He was locked up after breaking into Madison County businesses while high on meth.
Just to get money so I could keep getting high.
Arnold says he's now been clean for 10 months, working part-time and taking a monthly shot called Vivitrol that reduces drug cravings. He's also in Madison County's drug court program.
Going to treatment, in AA meetings every day, taking drug screens frequently, and they just hold you accountable for everything you do, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
When I take these off, put your hands on your head, all right?
Mellinger is hoping more inmates will commit to treatment. He says tensions run high when 3 inmates are forced to share a cell and some sleep on makeshift beds on the floor.
More contraband?
Yep.
The guards at Madison County find inmates hiding extra towels and uniforms every day.
Kick the towel out.
Detectives say in 2015, an inmate knocked a hole in the wall and roped together ripped blankets and a uniform to smuggle in synthetic marijuana. 3 inmates face charges after a canine sniffed out the drugs.
Just, a whole lot of crisis management when you don't have the resources you need, and then when you're overpopulated.
Our cameras caught inmates moving written notes between cell blocks with a string made of garbage bags. The staff says it's not unusual for inmates to disrespect them. The guards have the option to write an inmate up, but with so many inmates, they don't always have time.
It would make him go on lockdown for 24 hours, but if I would sit here and write every inmate up that would cuss at me or flip me off, I would be writing reports all night.
State lawmakers say they are exploring ways to reduce county jail crowding and make bond more affordable for low-level offenders. The state also launched a program called Recovery Works, which helps connect offenders with treatment if they don't have insurance. It's part of the Criminal Justice Reform Bill 1006, introduced last year. I'm Tim McNicholas, 24 Hour News 8.
All right, Tim, thank you. Sheriffs across the state say Criminal Justice Reform Bill 1006 is contributing to overcrowding. The bill requires county jails to house low-level felons that used to be in state custody. That's about 10% of all county inmates. The Indiana Department of Corrections declined our request for an interview.